This is the Pitaka PinButton case for the S25 Ultra, and it just might be the world's coolest phone case. Because in addition to providing decent protection for your $1,000 plus pocket computer, the 3 pin buttons on the left side of the case allow for added functionality. And just know before we go any further, this is not a sponsored video. For full disclosure, Pitaka did recently reach out to me and asked me if I wanted them to send me the case for review, but I turned them down because I already had it. Because I actually purchased the case with my own money a couple of months back after watching the review by VDoes Tech. So if you want to know all the nitty-gritty details about this case, I would start there with the link I've included down in the description.
Got it.
The purpose of this video is to not only share how I use the buttons on my case, but to also give you, clever viewer, a chance to share how you think they should be used. The 3 buttons on the left side of the case can be programmed as NFC tags using Samsung routines, and you can essentially program to do whatever you want, similar to the action button on an iPhone, with some limitations which we will discuss later. Oh, and just in case you were wondering about the kickstand, it's an aftermarket kickstand from ESR I put on all of my phone cases and does not come on the case.
Good to know.
To set up the pin buttons, you just open the Included Modes and Routines app on your S25 Ultra. Select Routines, hit the plus button, select Add what will trigger this routine, select NFC Tagged, and then press and hold down the button you want to program. After that, you select Add what this routine will do, and choose the selected action you want the button to perform. Then you hit Save, name your routine, and press Done.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
And if you weren't satisfied with your phone's out-of-the-box routine options, you can always download the Routines Plus extension through the Samsung Good Lock app to help add to your indecision. And over the past 2 months, I've used my 3 buttons for a variety of different things, like a ChatGPT shortcut, turning on my always-on display, activating Do Not Disturb, turning on dark mode, turning on my torch, spinning up Spotify, and starting a screen recording. And while all of these routines did technically work, they didn't all work quite as I intended. And this brings us back around to the limitation I mentioned earlier. For example, let's take turning on Do Not Disturb. While you can program one of the buttons to turn on Do Not Disturb, that same button can't be used to turn it off. So if you wanted to be able to turn it off, you would have to program a separate button to do that, or do it the traditional way through the phone's pull-down menu. I find the pin buttons to still be very useful despite this limitation, but it's definitely something you should keep in mind when setting up your routines. So with all of these things in mind, and after a lot of trial and error, these are my pin button routines of choice. I use the bottom button to turn on the torch, because you don't need to be fumbling around through your phone's menus when you are quickly trying to see something. I use the middle button to turn off the torch, so if I accidentally hit it when gaming in landscape mode, it doesn't actually do anything I don't want it to do. And finally, I use the top button to bring up my screen recorder controls. That way I can brag about my latest gaming escapades to my kids. So do you think these button choices are good choices? Do you think you can do better? Please feel free to gently share your opinions down in the comments.